I'll tell you what, that could not have gotten more white. That could not have gotten any more white than it did. Well, I don't even know what we were doing.
So
I think I have rhythm, but that was not it. Welcome to Technically Speaking Live, the last Technically Speaking Live of 2022. Holy shit.
We made it.
We made it. Oh, we got through it. We made it. We are living La Vida Loca tonight. The crazy life tonight in the 1% Studios. Stats, how are you, my friend?
I'm here.
Yeah?
I got 2 more days before my holiday starts, so
amen to that.
Just trying to make it through the last 2 work days of the year without losing my job, without losing my mind. That's how I'm doing. How are you doing, Scott?
You know that meme where the girl's like, oh no, well, no, like I'm that. That's where I'm at now, and Malcontents has agreed. Super white. No question.
Hey, you know what you're getting when you come to this show.
Extremely white. You know that is extremely white. So, I would say from the show's perspective tonight, we're gonna do it. What we're gonna do a little retro. We're gonna talk about what we've done, where we want to take all the stuff. Want to talk about a couple things. Team Pixel takes home the MKBHD hardware. It is not a shocker that the Pixels place basically 1-2 in some instances. 1-2 in portrait. I've only seen it through standard portrait and then low light. I haven't seen it in anything else, but in those 3, I didn't see anything about iPhone. Now, you'll know on this channel, we do not bash Apple too hard. I have Apple everything. Matter of fact, I have multiple iPad Pros.
Hang on. We got to back that up a second.
What?
We don't bash Apple products too hard. We bash Apple, the company, all the time.
We bash every company all the time, including Google from times.
Fact.
Like there are times where Google just like Google's messaging. Oh yeah, mess,
swing and a miss.
Jesus, Google, for the last get it together.
10 years.
What are you doing? Get it together, Google. When it comes to messaging. Apple, great marketing company, makes wonderful products. Mm-hmm. Very super simple, but we're starting to see the gap close quite a bit in some things. Now, in my opinion only, I still enjoy the video that comes out of the iPhone. Personally, I came here for the facts, but I see around the globe. Clearly, these guys are spreading lies.
That was well done, Tech 702. Well done.
Mike, I'll tell you what, buddy. I just joined and heard Scott talking about all the Apple products he has. Yep, it's true. I have a lot. So this is why I'm going to say this is not a Google breakup show. This is not what this is. This is not a breakup show. What I'm saying is I'm being critical of Apple or Google or devices or companies and things like that, but I still use their products. So I feel like I have at least every right to be critical of their stuff because I still use it as a consumer. Yeah, I'm not just blindly going, Apple sucks. Do you own any Apple anything? No, I don't, but Apple sucks. No, right. I live effectively in the ecosystem.
Yeah, you've gone out there and spent your very hard-earned money on all of the things. Almost all of the technology in this room.
Like I now have a...
So yes, you have earned the right to complain about any and or all of the technology companies represented in this room.
I now have a Chromebook Duet 5 upstairs.
Oh,
we'll get to it. Off camera, we'll get to it.
Okay. I'm going to look that up because I should know what that is. But
Chromebook Duet 5.
I heard you the first time.
Beautiful. Shut up. I said it again. I almost said the F word there. I almost did.
That would have been a great way to end the year.
That would have been a great... Hey, it's still early. We're only 5 minutes deep into the show. I'll paraphrase. I have dirt on my Pixel hookup, so I'm getting them no matter what. I don't have dirt. I have nothing. I have no idea what you're talking about. No clue. A Google breakup would be one hell of a season finale.
So this is a Lenovo product?
It's a Lenovo product. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There's no question about it.
Okay.
Just a beautiful product. I like what Google's trying to do with Chromebook. There are just some things that just don't work on a Chromebook, and that sucks.
Yet.
if it's still, you could be right. It could be yet, but we need to get their shit together if it's going to be anytime soon. Right. So let me just say that, like, I think I didn't watch it. Austin Evans put out a video that talked about, like, I'm in the Google ecosystem, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, hold up. From the 2 seconds that I read about it, I'm sure he's going to shit all over everything and be like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't live in the Google ecosystem. I don't know how people do it. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that that's probably something close to what happened, because I read some of the comments and some commentary on Twitter that talked about, like, well, of course he had a hard time doing XYZ because he chose a 4 gigabyte model Chromebook. He chose the lowest of the low Chromebooks. Right. So of course he, super user, had trouble because he picked a lesser value Chromebook for his specific needs. So this is that type of bullshit that I'm talking about. Like, if you're going to say it, like, you can't say, like, I'm going to switch from an iPhone 14 Pro, an iPad Pro M2, or a MacBook Pro, and then I'm going to go to a $200 either Lenovo or Acer Chromebook and a Pixel 6a. That's not even remotely close.
Right.
If your expectations, if your requirements, if your expectations and use cases are that high, come on. Like, if you are expecting iPhone 14 Pro level everything,
then you have to pay.
Then you pay for that.
For iPhone 14 Pro devices from other manufacturers. You don't pay for 6A and $200 Acer Chromebooks expecting iPhone 14, iPad Pro M2 levels of. That's just not how this works. No.
But again, I don't know if it. I'm just assuming based on the commentary that I've read that is where it's at. What's up, El Jefe, my brother? How are you? Happy holidays to you, my friend. Just happy holidays to you. Happy holidays to everybody. What's the good word, Jeff? So that bothers me. Is like, I'm switching. Okay. So first of all, I am not switching to iPhone. Like, I'm not. I have an iPhone. Matter of fact, the camera that you're looking at stats on right now is an iPhone. Yes. I'm going to continue to carry both because I choose to.
Well, and it makes things like this much easier to do because the phone is much more mobile. We have it mounted to a vise and a tripod, but it's, it can be taken off and used for other things very quickly. The DSLR that you have mounted to the ceiling here in the 1% Studios is not as easy to dismount and take out and do other things. So.
Source, me, 100% agree. It is mounted to the ceiling. I am maximizing the space that I have in front of me. I could fairly comfortably live in the space right here. I effectively have everything that I need.
You'd need a pooper. You'd need a commode.
There's a bucket. There's a bucket and a mop.
There's a Roomba.
I don't think we can play that song.
There's a Roomba on the floor that could help clean it up.
I don't think I can say the bucket and the mop line right after that.
We could find the Kids Bop version of that. I think there is
bet
one.
you we can't.
I bet you there is one, though.
I bet there's no way. There is no way there's a Kids Bop version of that. You can Google that. You can Google that all you want. There is no way that song has a Kids Bop version. Ooh.
Either that or I found a parody of it that somebody thought they could make. But that would also be hysterical.
Sir. El Jefe, I'm coming in hot. This is kind of the new, technically speaking. So this is kind of what we're doing. Okay, let's talk about. Come on, you can't be serious.
I'm gonna put it in the show notes.
No, there is a Kids Bop version of that song.
I don't know if this is a parody or not, but
we're definitely not gonna play it on this show.
Well, not where other people can hear it.
There is a song by Cardi B. The line is a bucket and a mop. You can figure out the rest of it if you are just inclined to do so.
I gotta figure out how to open this without it playing.
Make sure your volume's down.
It's the. I mean,
we already got a copyright strike. Who gives a shit?
The whole computer's muted. It's fine.
But there's a Kids Bop version of that song?
Again, I think these are parodies. They're not official
What?
Kids Bop, but people are trying. So,
Yo.
oh,
Not a Kids Bop version, is it?
it's no. Well, this one's called Wet and Mushy.
Okay, stop. Stop, because I don't know. That word just made me go. We are not going to have Stats do an RG3 moment.
Oh, no.
We are not
no.
gonna happen here, hopefully. That's not what we want.
No bugaboos on this show.
Oh, come on. Come on.
That's not the phrase he used.
That is definitely not the phrase he used.
That's the one he
That's the one he meant to say. Whoa, good Lord. Okay, let's talk about Twitter. Look, y'all,
Dumpster fire.
hold on a minute.
It is, though.
Oh, just damn it. Hang on a second. Let me get my words out. Man, I love Twitter. I do. Let's talk, take everything out of it. Don't politicize everything at this point. The idea, the foundational idea of Twitter. God, Twitter is my favorite social media platform. It is by far my favorite. And when I first started, I hated it. It was so stupid. Like microblogging, who cares? It's the same concept of me saying, who cares about the damn sandwich I ate for breakfast? And all of a sudden, Instagram is like the thing, right? Michael, don't do that. Moist, I hate that word. But I love Twitter. I love Twitter. I love Twitter for what it is. I love Twitter for what it can become. I love everything about Twitter, except some pretty aggressive things they need to work on. And it's such a dumpster fire now. It's so hard to watch, but I can't not watch it because it is such a dumpster fire. And I don't know where in the world a lot of these whole conspiracy theorists are coming out of the woodwork, but they are everywhere. It is crazy. We are not going to talk politics here. We are removing the politicizing of it all. But holy moly, Twitter is like, whoo. It is totally on one. Sending polls out for should I be CEO or not. Talking about how they're going to make significant policy changes for the program or for the whole platform in polls. And I'm like, oh man, I don't know if this is how I would do things.
I remember the first time I heard about Twitter, my reaction was much like yours. Like, I don't read blogs to begin with, so why would I sign up for a service where people can just post whatever they want, whenever they want? But then a short, undetermined amount of time later, I read my first news story about what the power of Twitter could be.
Unbelievable.
And I don't know if you remember this, but I think we've talked about it in the past. So there was a guy, he was traveling overseas in, some country, and he ran afoul of the local authorities, and he was getting arrested. While he was being put in handcuffs and in the back of their local police vehicle, sorry, I don't know why the mic is bouncing and is making noise. He tweeted out just randomly on his Twitter feed, not to anyone in particular. This is before Twitter DMs. This is before post notifications, things like that. He literally just threw a cry for help out in the world. Hey, I'm in insert country. I'm getting arrested. Contact the U.S. Embassy. Less than 12 hours later, he was out of prison because somebody on the other end of Twitter that followed him saw it, contacted the U.S. Embassy in that country, and they got him out. And that, I think, is when I first realized what Twitter could become and the type of reach you could get.
Unreal.
I've
made tons of friends. So our friend Daisha, I met via Twitter because she was live tweeting a local Columbus, Ohio event that was crazy. We'll talk about it off air. It was totally crazy, like crime, just crazy, just like a crazy ass moment. And that's how I met her. And like she's vacationing with our family and the whole 9 yards. It was crazy, right?
Yeah, I actually
It was.
I actually dated a girl for a while that I met on Twitter. That's very strange.
See, there you go. So the idea is like, man, like Twitter can be so amazing, and it is by far my favorite. It is by far my favorite social media platform. So I don't know what's going to happen to it. I don't like some of the things that they're doing. I don't care about some of the other things that they're doing.
Right.
So like, I'm just waiting. So let's talk about this. I'm not going to go to Mastodon, whatever that is. I'm not going to go to that.
Yeah.
I can't say never, but I have no intent to go to another social media platform because I don't need to spend more time on social media. So I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to I loved live tweeting Ohio State football stuff. Oh my God. Ohio State football is a mess on Twitter during the games. A mess.
Just live tweeting anything.
Oh, it's a mess and I love it.
With a group of other like-minded individuals.
Jesus, I mean, so great.
It's today's day and age of, getting together and gathering around in the barbershop and watching a presidential news conference or something because you're all screaming at the same thing, but you're all witnessing and experiencing the same event at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of getting together and eating meat.
What?
What?
Left turn, folks.
Michael Daniels, thank you so much for the super chat. Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you always, always, always. I need to jump back into your show. Man, I love Michael's show. It's so fun. The energy there is so great. I love it, love it, love it. Love the energy. Merry Christmas to you and your family, Michael, my friend. My friend, I appreciate you. Speaking of eating meat. Pause.
Again, still turning left.
That left turn turned hard. I, unfortunately, am not going to get a chance to go to CES this year. The majority of the reason is because we're going to be doing a remodel on the house here.
You could just take the whole family to CES.
No.
That
not
would be
in Vegas.
affordable, I hear.
Absolutely not. We're not going to do that. So I had a chance to go to CES last year, and I got a chance to hang out with 3 exceptionally good people. English Dan, actually, he's kind of a piece of shit. Adam, Tech Odyssey, now come to think of it, he's also a piece of shit. And then Dobo, which is as epic as you can possibly imagine. If
you follow Dobo on Twitter or any of the other social medias,
unbelievably epic.
Hysterical.
But I'm going to tell you right now, so I'm going to spill some tea. Are you ready? We're spilling some tea. Dobo just disappears. Like, dude just straight up disappears and does his own thing and then just shows back up like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, dude, where the hell have you been? Where did you go? Like, oh, I'm doing this other thing. Dude is like, he is hyper connected. Mm-hmm. He is everywhere. He is omnipresent.
He also does not stop working. I'm not sure he sleeps.
Never stops working. The man is a machine.
Yeah.
The man is a machine. I'm going to tell you right now, Dobo, he could be here and we don't even know it. Yeah, and he could be here and gone. He is like Jesus Christ.
I mean, he could be flying a drone right outside that window. He could be.
I think I just said that Dobo was Jesus Christ.
You might have.
It's somewhat connected.
I mean, it's the right time of year.
Yeah, it's kind of connected. But Adam, so with Adam, Adam actually bought all of us dinner at Smith and Lewinsky.
Yeah, her.
That Wolinski. Jesus, I'm a mess.
Unfortunately, sidebar, the one at Easton's closing.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that.
So we had a tomahawk steak, and Adam paid for it. So I'm going to just say this much. Here's the deal, folks. You might see some of the discourse that we have and some of the comments that you see folks make on Twitter. And you've got to understand, outside of Twitter is just sometimes not real. Social media itself is not real. Those 3 dudes are legit good dudes. Like, they are legit good dudes. Now, do we see eye to eye on everything? No. But you know what? We're never gonna. I don't see eye to eye with everything that Stats does either. But that's okay. That's the point.
That's the intent of society and modern civil discourse.
Exactly. And so we had a wonderful dinner. We had a great time. We hung out with each other. I'm going to miss those 3 guys. at CES. Wow,
Man, Tech 702,
Mike is on
tonight, boy.
He is on one tonight. Mike
Like
is
it.
coming in hot. But no, Adam paid for dinner for all of us. Just Adam is an unbelievable dude. You guys have no idea some of the stuff that man does behind the scenes. And I'm just, he's not going to ever say anything. He doesn't want the credit, doesn't want anything like that. Same thing with Dan, same thing with Dobo. You guys have no idea some of the inner workings that those three dudes do. You've no clue. And I'll tell you, is like on social media, you have no idea what somebody might be going through. For the love of Christ, just be nice. That's it. Just be nice. Hanging out with those three in Vegas was hysterical. Just hysterical. There was a moment. Adam rescued me. There's a comment in this thread that Tech 702 said, careful, we still have the pics. Yep, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. Adam rescued me because I was on the phone with somebody and I got stopped on the strip. And if you walk the strip, there are types of things that happen.
Strip walkers.
And they got me. I got. And Adam rescued me. Because I wasn't going to give him a damn cent. I'm going to tell you this right now. Here's the thing. You stop me. If you stop me and I am on the phone on the strip, you are getting nothing. I don't care if you get paid in tips or anything. I don't care. Don't stop me on the strip. I'm a man on a mission. If I want to interact with you, I will interact with you. I might even say hi. But don't you dare put me in handcuffs and tie me up. Pause.
Man, that hasn't happened since
college. It's been a while.
I was going to say another event we won't mention on air.
Well, I mean, early 2000s were a weird time.
Before social media.
It was a weird.
God.
It was a weird time. It was a weird time.
Before camera phones and before social media.
It was a weird time. So, folks, y'all don't understand. Three dudes. I'm gonna miss them a lot. I'm sure they're talking mad shit behind my back because I'm not going to CES. But the reason is we're doing the remodel on the house, which actually parlays into kind of the next topic that I wanted to talk about is what the hell are we going to do with Technically Speaking?
That is a great topic for discussion. TBD.
Yep. Pro tip, don't talk to anybody on the strip. I was on the phone. I was literally on the phone. They still stopped me. You just got to look straight down. You can't look, you can't do anything. And that's really hard for a Midwestern kid because that's not how we operate.
Right.
We don't operate that way. That is not Chanel, no you don't. No, you don't. You don't need to be super confused about what actually happened in college. Nah, you don't. Again, early 2000s, it was a weird time. It was a weird time. I struggle with the don't talk to anybody because I talk to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I am
whether they want to be talked to or not.
I am not good at that. I am very ungood at that. I'll talk if we're walking down a hallway and we're the only people in the hallway. I will talk to you.
See, I'll make eye contact, and then I'll do the. If I know you, it's the heads up. If I don't know you, it's the hi, how you doing, and just walk right past.
But you just said that you talk to him every time.
I don't talk. I was intimating what the up or down means, but no, most of the time, no words come out of my mouth. No.
Really? Not me.
I'm usually on a mission.
Not me.
If I'm in the hallway, I'm going one of three places: coffee machine, bathroom, or lunch. And I don't want to talk to anybody with. I'm doing any of those three.
Nope. I will be in a Walmart or a Target or anything, and I'll be walking, and I'll say, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" to anybody. That's the thing. I'll talk to anybody. And this is what gets me in trouble. This is the shit that I'm talking about gets me in trouble. This is why I got to watch what I do. This is why I don't do well in Vegas, because I talk to everybody. And then I wind up getting things happening. Pause. That sounds awful.
Things happening.
Like, I'm not.
Could you be any more vague or or arouse any more suspicion?
I know that sounds awful. Good Lord, it sounds bad. I'm not boycotting CES until Elon quits Twitter. I don't look. He could be the CEO.
Here's the thing. He's never going to quit Twitter, Elon, that is. He might give up day-to-day control of it, but he's never going to quit.
Look, here's the deal. Like, he's going to do what he's going to do. Do I agree with everything he does? No. Do I agree with most of the things he say? No. Do I think that he's smart? Yes. Do I think he's too smart for his own good? Yes. But I think a lot of people are that way. I think Steve Jobs was an asshole. Like, doesn't mean he wasn't a visionary. It just means he's an asshole. Like, same thing with Elon. He can be a visionary. He can also be an asshole. Like, both of the stats, visionary, also asshole. Like, you can be both.
100%.
You can be both. It doesn't make it any less true. It is what it is. So yeah, Elon coming on Technically Speaking when he can come on Technically Speaking whenever he wants.
Man, talk about views.
Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
No, well, here's the thing.
Unbelievable.
We would get views and watch minutes after the fact because while he was on the show, we would be too busy pooping ourselves to figure out what to talk about. And
I know exactly what I was.
Nobody would believe he was actually on the show. We wouldn't get any live viewers.
Oh no, I strong disagree. Here's exactly what would happen. He would be on the show. He would show up. We would be talking to him. Everybody in the comments, exactly. Tech Audi said 24 watch. You're exactly right. 24 watchers. Those 24 would tweet out like, "Holy Jesus." Right. Elon Musk is on this random nobody's channel. And you need to go watch, and then it just kind of
the links out.
It just like starts to perpetuate. It goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Like, so we would have thousands of people. I don't know what I would do in that instance, but I know what I would talk to them about.
We would just hope the bandwidth doesn't drop.
I'm sure the pipes are fine, Paul's. What the hell? What is wrong with me tonight?
It's the last show of the year.
Good Lord, what is wrong with me? I would envision that the spicy takes between Elon and Stats would be pretty bad. I would probably have to mute Stats' mic, which is why I have the soundboard on my desk.
Well, you know.
But, I mean, well, it's okay. Like, it is what it is. It's fine. Anyway, what are we doing with Technically Speaking? So that is something I kind of talked about it and tweeted about it, or I Instagrammed about it yesterday or the day before. I have started to put a copious amounts of notes about what we're going to do with Technically Speaking. And so we wanted to kind of talk about it live on air. Excuse me. Here's what I do know. In January and February, it's going to be weirdly touch and go. We'll probably have to take the show on the road a little bit, mostly because the renovation in the house. So one whole half of my home, and I do not have a big home, contrary to popular belief, will be basically torn down to the studs and remapping some of the walls, which means my family will be living in the space here in this room and outside that other room. It's not very much. It's like 700 square feet. So it's not an overwhelmingly huge space for 5 of us and a dog in one room, right? So the kids would normally go to sleep or begin to wind the evening down when the show is winding up. So I've got to figure out, do we go over to Stats's humble abode and do a show from Stats's place? Or what? What are we going to do? So we're going to figure out the details when the renovation starts. The first few shows in January will probably be still from here because it doesn't start till mid-January. We're also going to be talking about what's the purpose of... Well, I mean,
that is a great comment.
Technically speaking, his family will be in the living room. You're not wrong, Mike. You're not wrong. Technically speaking, you're correct. So what are we going to do with the channel? And so I sent this big, huge, I mean, it was several thousand word diatribe to Stats and said, look, read it if you want. You don't have to. To be full disclosure, I still haven't actually read your email back.
That's
to
fine.
Me.
You very rarely read emails, so it's okay. I usually give you 72 business hours.
That's fair. I think it was important to reflect on what Technically Speaking has become. So, or what technically speaking started from a bet. Everybody knows the story. Me, Greg, Stats.
I lost very quickly.
You literally, like the first 4 days you were out.
Right. I did make several videos. They just were awful.
Greg and I then continued on. We had 2 separate channels and then morphed into becoming one. Words are tough. So now with Greg being gone and my desire to make edited content literally non-existent, what do we want this thing to be? You know, there's a lot of folks saying like, hey, you go talk about sports. Hey, you talk about this. Hey, you talk about that. But again, that wasn't what 23,000 subscribers signed up for initially.
Mm-hmm.
That's what like the 12 of you that are in here did sign up for, is the constant, complete, like BS show that this has become. And I'm really big personally on delivering some sort of value back. You are taking time which you cannot get back. And many times you should feel very sad that you watch the show for an hour because you can't get that hour back. I took that from you. Suck it long, suck it hard. Okay. But the idea is you can't get that back. And I want to make sure that we're providing something to you that provides you value. At the same time, we have to look internal to ourselves and say, is the time I'm putting into this thing, is the juice worth the squeeze? Are we okay with knowing damn well that we're probably not going to grow the channel based on just the live show? Now, here's where I will say I will talk out of both sides of my mouth. You can grow a channel doing live shows. There's no question about it. You can grow a channel.
Casey did.
Jeff El Jefe proved it. However, he put in a tremendous amount of effort, a ton of value in the live streams, a ton of value, right? And we are not that. I also know that you and I are notoriously lazy, and we will not market the show.
Me specifically.
We'll make almost no edits to thumbnails. We will not edit any content. I know, I'm just being real. The idea is like, I'm not going to do that effort. Like, I know that. And so again, it comes down to the question is, if the answer is, look, I'm going to go live, we're going to talk about random whatever we want, and that's okay, and know that we're never really going to get subscribers out of it, we're never really going to get this out of it, we're not going to provide any value, and the answer is that's okay, then that's fine. Then we can make the decision. But just know that Chanel's talking about, like, you'd actually have to have a plan, and we don't do that well at all. We don't do that well at all, because
not when it comes to this.
Quite frankly, life gets in the way. So I haven't actually had a chance to sit down with Stats and say, what do we like? First of all, do we want it to be a we? You've been on the show, yes, a lot, right? Do we want it to be a we? I don't know. I don't know what your goals are. What are goals that you would have? I'm not asking you to answer this right now. Like, what goals would you want this thing to be?
I'm just here for moral support.
Like, it's the same conversation that Greg and I sat down to do it. Like, what do you want this thing to become? And we had basically articles of, when you make a company, articles of
incorporation.
Thank you. We basically had that said, all right, this is the deal. Like, this is what we do, right? Edited content. This is the calendar. This is how often you're going to do it. You're this week. I'm this week. This is what we're going to talk about. We did all that. We haven't done that at all here yet. So we need to have that conversation. So I think we're going to probably talk about it over the course of the next several weeks. We're going to both be out next week because it's Christmas. Like, I'm not in town. You're not in town. Nobody's in town. And the week after that, I'm on vacation from work again. We might do a show that Wednesday.
That'd be the 3rd.
Maybe. And so I would like to know, I'd like to present out to everybody. It's like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. This is what you can show. This is what you can expect. And then I'm gonna put some of the pressure back on some of the y'all folks out here and say, like, bring a friend, right? Like, I don't care that we have 17 people in here. It doesn't bother me one bit. I don't care if we have 10 people. I don't care if we have 2 people sitting here talking about this stuff. We joke, we have fun, we have good stuff. But I do like the idea, because I'm OCD, to having a plan on what the hell are we doing with this thing? What are we trying to do with our lives? Like, what are we doing? And I want to have that conversation. But I can tell you right now, it's not going to be just about tech anymore. Tech just not that exciting to me. I lost my erection for tech. I definitely said those words on the internet right now. I definitely said those words on the internet.
I'm not sure that's a phrase that's ever been uttered on YouTube before, but it has now.
That is not going to end well for me.
Well,
that is not going to end well for me.
You know, I don't think Andrew Edwards is in the chat right now. Isn't he the clip guy?
You're talking about Trent.
Oh, Trent. Yes, Trent.
Yeah, that one.
He's been going off on Viper for like 2 weeks.
Don't worry.
Hysterical.
Don't worry. Someone will let him know. I'm so sus tonight. I am so sus.
Well, but as you and I talked about at lunch today, and when you get around to reading my response to your email, I think it's a good time to have this discussion and to see where it want to go, where the channel wants to go, what you want it to be, what kind of participation level I'm going to have, and who else we might want to bring into it, from guest speakers and things like that, or interactions, interactions on the show.
I'm plowing through the barriers tonight, Chanel. Just plowing. The sound bites from the show are going to be incredible.
Yeah. If we actually cut it up and posted it like we used to. But it's the end of one year. It's the beginning of a new year. It's that traditional time where middle-aged, chubby white people try to make changes in their lives. Hey, look at us.
Midlife crisis, baby.
And I think we have an opportunity to at least have the conversation. And in the end, if absolutely nothing changes and all we do is show up here once a week and get to hang out with our friends and get to make fun of each other and make fun of Elon Musk and whoever else, and there's nothing wrong with that in and of itself. I know it drives you a little nuts.
It does. I like a plan.
But maybe we write down the plan of this is what we're going to do. But at the end of the day, at least we're opening ourselves up to the opportunity to change, and we're not sticking with something and forcing something that isn't working.
Yeah, and I guess my thing is it could be because of the folks that I follow on social media and things like that. Is like I'm just not interested in tech the way that I used to be, because all tech is just so good. And I said this in the note to you, and so I'll say it here, is like, this is not a woe is me moment. I'm not looking for like sympathy, and I'm not looking for someone to be like, oh, Scott, it's okay, you're totally amazing. I'm not trying to say that.
Oh, that's good. I only said it once in the email.
Exactly. So for me, the idea is like, look, I can't absolve myself of responsibility here. I don't do social media well, talking about marketing the show. I don't. It's not lost on me. I make comments like, this show will never grow from a live show, blah, blah, blah. Like, it can be done. I don't prioritize the level of effort that goes into making it so. That's my choice. That is a choice. It just is what it is. Like, it can be done, sure. I just don't want to car ramrod all of the effort into doing that thing. It's possible, sure. And I'm also not absolving myself of, I didn't offer in my edited content, in my opinion, I didn't offer anything any different than some other jack off on YouTube. I don't think I used that word the right way.
No, you really didn't.
I definitely used the wrong word.
Yes, you did. You had the RG3 moment
I sure
tonight.
did. That is definitely not the word. Oh boy, that is
the clip.
That is definitely not the word I meant to say. And
I am so glad my parents are watching this.
Oh,
that's
fantastic. And of course, Adam has already put a tweet out there. I can see a picture of our show. I can only imagine what that clip is going to say. I am going to backpedal a little bit because, oh my God, I just said that. At least it wasn't like an RG3 moment, though. That could have been way worse.
Yeah, it could, yes.
Could have been way worse. I don't offer anything different than any other jackass. That's the word I meant to say.
There it is.
Oh boy. Oh Oh boy. Oh my God. I don't offer anything different than any of those other guys out there. Any of those other folks that's making content. I can read the specs just like anybody else. Literally anybody else. Oh, the Pixel 6a has a 1080p blah 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 panel and it's got this other thing. I didn't do anything different. I didn't make anything magical. I didn't, in my opinion, do anything that was super different than anybody else. And I also didn't want to prioritize doing anything that was super, super interesting. Like, I'm going to do like crazy edits and multiple camera angles. Like, I'm not going to do that. That's just more effort than what I wanted to put in. And if it's really going to take that level of effort, then I don't think I want to do that. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't have the energy for that.
Well, and I think a lot of that is very natural. Your kids are growing up. You are aging like a bag of milk. And
Jesus.
And priorities
Did you
change.
just say I have cottage cheese? What? Cottage cheese thighs? Aging like a bag of milk.
Among other things.
Good Lord. Like Chanel said, breaking more barriers, boys.
So, priorities change. Demands on your time have gotten a lot greater. I mean, all of your kids are involved in activities. Both you and your wife, full-time jobs. And, it's just, you don't have as much time to dedicate to scripted long-form comment as you did 5 or 6 years ago when you started this. So
Yep.
there's nothing wrong with that.
I do.
You're still a very important, special person.
I don't think that that's true.
To me.
I don't also think that that's true either. Like, I love though, like the unscripted, off the top of the dome, like let's react. Like it gives a really good edge, and I can use a lot of the things that I do here in my professional career as well. Hopefully, I actually still have a professional career after the end of this godforsaken show.
Well, we can always pull it down if we start getting some negative feedback.
Well, I mean, the idea is, look, hey, I just said the wrong word. I didn't say anything like overwhelmingly bad. I mean, it is what it is. Mike Max says, I feel you. I just can't make content anymore for the same reason. It's just not exciting to me. Like the tech is so good, it's fine. But I myself I feel personally, I don't offer some sort of perspective that could be any different than something else that's already out there. I don't offer anything different, exciting. And I don't want to just be the next person making content for the sake of making content. I would want to stand out, be different. I mean, you read thousands of different people talk about like, you got to be different. You got to stand out. Mr. Beast, MKBHD, woo woo. Like, and I don't know what that thing is. If I discover what it is, then sure, I can make edited content again. But I currently don't know what that thing is. Chanel, so what would you be interested in talking about? What is really fascinating to you right now? What would you like to learn to talk about with your friends? See, the thing is we have a vast majority of conversations about a lot of different shit. Like we talk about a lot of different stuff. We talk about some of the stuff that goes on in my professional career. We talk about stuff that goes on in Ohio State football. We talk about a little bit of tech. We talk about
a lot of golf,
social media, a lot of golf, like some family stuff, mental health things. Like we run the gamut on talking about stuff,
life.
And I think, I don't know if an epiphany just happened.
Write it down for the love of all that is holy.
It is about to be live on YouTube. So the idea is, and I don't know this, I'm going to ask folks in the comments to verify this, is there a channel that just talks about life? Like not social media life, not the life that they portray on social media, literally talking about the randomness, how difficult life can be, the struggles, the greatness, the shittiness, and everything in between about life.
Well, and
That's
think,
what I would want to know. A life pod. Yeah, like Chanel just said, it sounds like you should just have a life podcast.
I would niche it down a little bit more, because I would say, because when you and I are conversating, just talking, we don't really try to, unless it is the explicitly discussed reason for the conversation, we don't always try to come up with a solution. We don't always try to fix stuff. Sometimes we just talk.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's going to be a lot of people out there who are talking about life and challenges and things like that, but then they're also going to try to come up with a solution. They're going to try to help people.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what you and I do.
We do help people.
We help people.
Yeah, we absolutely do.
You know, I think a lot of our conversations are just getting stuff out of our heads,
Mm-hmm.
so we're not the only ones, or at least we don't feel like we're the only ones thinking about it.
So I think we're getting on to something here. I think we are getting on to something here. So I see some comments out there. We don't put milk in bags. Do you guys do that in Canada?
Oh, yeah.
That's a thing.
That's an absolute thing.
Did not know that. That's very strange to me.
Canadian milk bags.
That is a very, like, that could be somebody's
Band name.
That could be a band name. That could be a nickname. Canadian milk bag. Like, I remember old Canadian milk bag, from college. Man, that guy could drink. I'll tell you what, old Canadian milk bag. Like, no, we don't have that. And Chanel, you're right. It's starting to sound like it's a live podcast. So maybe like the next thing of Technically Speaking, you're witnessing it sort of live on the air right now, is the evolution number 4, I believe you and I talked about, is
I think so, yeah.
evolution number 4 of Technically Speaking. Like, it becomes this next thing. And for those folks that go out and talk about, like, well, you should start this on a new channel because this channel was all tech and now you just do tech. I'm not going to do that.
No.
Like, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to do that. I am not doing that. I don't care about the concept of niching down. I know what I'm talking about doing right now is not going to be good for subscriber counts, and I frankly don't care. Like, I just don't, because I think there might be something to this.
Mm-hmm.
A show of Life in Ohio would sell right now, Mac. Mac says Life in Ohio. Ohio is the butt of a lot of jokes, and sometimes we totally deserve it.
Absolutely.
No questions about it.
However,
Ohio is...
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there's a lot to really like about... There's a lot to hate about Ohio. There's no question about it. There's a lot to hate about Ohio. But there's a lot to not hate about Ohio too.
Right.
Especially Columbus. First of all, let's be very real.
We live in Columbus, and
Right.
we are not representing all of Ohio here. There are pieces and parts of Ohio that we absolutely don't want to represent. But
what Chanel just said, life, Technically Speaking.
Ooh.
I like that, Chanel. I like that a lot. And now it's captured forever in perpetuity. So let's just talk about what we would give away from Ohio. I love Cleveland. It's cold. People are super rude. It's great. I love it. I can't get rid of Cleveland. Cincinnati can go straight to hell. Cincinnati, I'll give to Kentucky. Because, to be honest, Cincinnati, Ohio's airport is not in Ohio. So just give it to Kentucky.
Yeah.
Bye.
I've had good experiences both in Cleveland and in Cincinnati. I've had sketchy experiences both in Cleveland and in Cincinnati. For me, Columbus is where it's at.
Columbus is the best city in Ohio, no question.
100%.
I'm giving Cincinnati to Kentucky. I'm giving Toledo to Michigan. I don't care. Bye. Toledo can go. Bye. Michigan, you can have it. I don't care. You can have it. Cleveland stays. Youngstown is gangster though. Don't mess with people from Youngstown.
Yeah.
Then you get down to like Appalachian, Ohio. I'm gonna go ahead and give that back to West Virginia.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and give that back.
I'm okay with that. That's a fine decision.
Yeah, I just can't do it. Everything in Central Ohio, Franklin County, which is the county we live in, probably the best county. Everywhere else is just kind of whatever. Like when someone goes, is there a lot of cows in Ohio.
Not in Franklin County.
Not in Franklin County, but when you get to the outskirts of Ohio, like West Ohio, yeah, there's a lot of farmland. Northeast Ohio is more like Rust Belt.
Industrial.
Very industrial, like built Ford trucks and Ford cars and like the Jeep plants up there. And actually that's in Toledo. So like most North Ohio is more industrial. Appalachian, there's nothing going on in there. That's just hillbillies and moonshine. Down in Southeast Ohio.
Big prison down there too.
Huge prison. Love them some convicts down there. West Ohio is mostly just farmland.
Right.
So Youngstown can go to PA. Yeah, I could see that. I could see going to PA. I have not watched that show, Nucky, at all. If you want to focus
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Malcontent. If you want to focus group on new fast food restaurants, Columbus is one of those towns.
Oh, like it has been
100%.
75 years.
Unbelievable.
That's why Wendy's was founded here. That's why
White
Castle, half a dozen other. Chanel's
right. Amish countries in Northeast Ohio.
Right. Piata is a homegrown concept.
I had no idea.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Charlie's, the
sub place.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love their subs.
That is Columbus, Ohio.
Really?
Based.
Do you know that big ass house in Hilliard? Mm-hmm. That's just across the river. That has like the gated thing. Right. That's the CEO of Charlie's.
Charlie's headquarters is in the same building as Safelight. They're by the windmills up on North 270.
I'll be damned. I did not know that. None of you know what we're talking about.
No.
But that's okay. If you come to Columbus, you will figure it out. But so yeah, life technically. Okay, it's kind of growing on me. Mm-hmm. It's kind of growing on me. Look, the idea is like it's not going to just be tech anymore. It's just not. And that's okay. Y'all keep coming back, which I love. I would love to get more folks in here so we can continue to have these conversations when you and I make dumbass comments, mostly me. Let's be real. When I say stupid things, tacos were invented in Ohio. Max says.
That's a bold statement.
I'm not sure that's true.
We might have to research.
Is that true? Is that true? I would like to know if that's true. Mac, I'm going to take a wild guess and say that is not true.
Mac, we're going to need you to prove that on the first show of the new year. We'll let you know when that's going to be, and we'll send you the link.
I think it would be wonderful if we. I want to talk about what life was for bringing other creators on. Like, hey, you're a creator. What do you do when you're not creating?
Ooh,
like what do you do when you don't create? Like
that would be a good.
What do you do in life?
Content subchapter.
Yeah, like what do you do? Like. Yeah, I get it. You're always on, yada, yada, yada. I understand. But do you have a full-time job, or is this your full-time job? Right. I know lots of other creators that have other full-time jobs. Mm-hmm. Okay, you're 100% being sarcastic. You had me going there for a minute, Max says. It's 100% sarcastic. I would have not expected Ohio to create such a delicacy. But we're gonna continue to do the things that we're gonna do. 100% agree. So Chanel just mentioned something about the worst form of spaghetti comes from Ohio, and I will staunchly support what she just said because
I'm not sure which one she's talking about.
Okay, I'm assuming she's talking about Skyline.
See, I'm thinking she's referring to your family's dish, mayo spaghetti.
Okay, I assume she was talking about Skyline, which let's talk about that. Skyline Chili is the worst fast food restaurant ever created in the history of all fast food. Skyline Chili is the worst.
That is a very bold
fast food. Like that's it. You do not get worse. The worst you can possibly get. These people in Cincinnati, they have Cincinnati chili, which by the way is disgusting. It tastes awful. If you go in expecting good hearty chili, you know what you get? You get a bowl full of garbage. You get garbage chili. That's what you get. Just absolute disgusting garbage. And then they're like, hey, you know, it'd be a great idea. We're going to take a boatload of spaghetti, throw it in a bowl, and then we're going to put the worst chili on it ever, and you're going to eat it, and you're going to be like, no, it's Skyline
Well,
time.
and then they put beans and onions and cheese on top of it.
It's fine. The actual chili, though, is disgusting. They're like, it's Cincinnati chili. Yeah, it's garbage. You made the worst. You've taken what is an amazing soup, chili, and you've made it the worst ever. And they have done that. Awful. It is the worst fast food you can get. I flat out refuse to even enter the premises of a Skyline chili.
Now, does that extend to the competing version, the Gold Star brand?
Never been there.
Okay.
Never have I ever been there. But I can say, like, they're like, hey, you can have this. I'm not going to say the words because I've already said a ton of words. You can get your chili a certain way of a number variety. Mm-hmm. And they put stupid things on the chili. Like Chanel just said, they put cinnamon in the chili. Who does that? Cincinnati does that. Go back to Kentucky. Buy. No. What are you doing? Worst ever. Worst fast food ever.
Have you ever been to, I know we already gave it away to Michigan, but have you been to Tony Pacco's up in Toledo?
Nope.
Oh, they do chili dogs differently.
Okay.
Very, very good. I mean, it looks like a chili dog like you get anywhere, but it's very different from Skyline.
Yeah, Nucky, we have Skyline chili, and it is a fast food restaurant that puts chili on everything, including hot dogs, which doesn't sound bad as a chili dog, except you put the worst chili on it. They ruin a hot dog. They ruin spaghetti. Skyline ruins everything. It literally is the worst ever. Just awful. You know what? 1,000 times mayo spaghetti. 1,000 times mayo spaghetti before I put Skyline chili. As a lifelong fan of Cincinnati, is home to the worst MLB franchise. I don't know. That's tough. I would say Tampa Bay is probably worse.
Yeah. I mean, the worst in the last 25 years? Absolutely. I'll give you the Reds.
Yeah, they're awful.
They haven't done much since 1990, but...
and Pete Rose should never be in the Hall of Fame.
Ooh, spicy take right at the end of the show.
Yeah, spicy take right at the end of the show. That man, I hope he never makes it.
Well,
bye.
I think he's out of chances.
I don't care.
So...
I will leave it there. Hot takes, ready? We got a minute and a half. Hot takes, any edition.
Oh boy!
Please don't go political.
No.
Hot take.
I
Pete Rose should never be in the Hall of Fame. Never be in the Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. So should Roger Clemens. Those two cats should be in. Pete Rose should never be in. Ever.
What about Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa?
Yes, both in. No question. The era that everybody was doing that. That was the era of baseball. Like, that's just what it was. Back in the 70s and 80s, they were popping methamphetamines in the dugout. Look, that's just the way that it was.
Right.
No one wants to talk about that. Let those guys in. Pete Rose, never in. Bye. Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I think Ichiro is a better player than Pete Rose.
I wouldn't disagree with that. Now, granted, I never watched Pete Rose play. My dad would probably have a different opinion, but yeah, you and I grew up watching Ichiro play. So
Ichiro was incredible. I would draft Ichiro number 1 a lot over a lot of different other Hall of Famers. Ichiro was unbelievable as a player. Unbelievable. I love baseball. I love all sports, really. Hot take, pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. Reverse hot take, pineapple is amazing on pizza.
I agree with Scott.
Pineapple, amazing on pizza. Skyline chili is the worst. Five Guys still has the best burgers I've ever tasted. In terms of fast food, let me just leave it there.
You get a Hawaiian pizza, you throw some banana peppers and some hot sauce on it. Oh, yes.
No hot sauce, no banana peppers, but all right, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
We'll do half and half.
I'll do green peppers and pineapple. I can get down with that. Let's see, was other.
You get a little crunch with it.
I have a lot of disdain for Pete Rose. I also hate Desmond Howard.
Oh, I think everyone on this planet other than Desmond Howard hates Desmond Howard. Did you see Pat Narduzzi's tweets yesterday?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well,
No, we'll talk about that off show. I'm sure it's got something to do with NIL.
Oh, it does.
I
It
bet
absolutely does.
Name, image, and likeness for those folks that are doing the college football. Any other last hot takes for 2022?
No, none off the top of my head. Sorry, that aren't political. I should say.
There we go. Yep. Oh, I love bacon. Love bacon. Stats
So-
we're gonna see. What?
Well, I was going to say last week we talked about it, and I realized when I was driving home, we can't do a social media break, a 2-week break starting the day after Christmas because
Ohio State football.
we got two Ohio. We have at least one, hopefully 2 Ohio State football games.
Yeah, like I'm
in
gonna,
that 2-week period.
I'm gonna tell you right now, man, I can already see Jason's tweets to me when Ohio State is kind of down and out. Like I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be real sad if that happens. Georgia's a great team.
Absolutely.
Georgia's going to
They
be
deserve to be number one.
Georgia's going to be extremely hard to beat.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, if Ohio State plays like they did the last time we saw Ohio State, the game will not be close.
No.
If we are captain bubble screens and no run game, or we ditch the run game, it's not going to work. Here's the next thing I'm going to tell you. You are not going to run on Georgia. It is not going to happen.
Right.
Georgia's run defense is far too good for that. So here's the thing that's going to have to happen. Their quote-unquote weakest point. They're really not that weak, but their quote-unquote weakest point is going to be their secondary, their pass. So you're going to have to figure it out. If CJ wants to have his moment, this is it. And also, I think people are giving him a hard time. Like, I think CJ is not a bad kid. I think he's a good kid.
Oh, no.
So,
Again, social media.
I'm going to tell you, Jason, if Ohio State and Michigan win, the world will melt down.
The world will, well, let me...
The southeast section of the United States will implode upon itself.
Just coming off the World Cup, I think it's hard to make a comparison. But I would, if Ohio State and Michigan both win and meet for the national championship,
oh man,
the United States, I won't necessarily say the world, but the United States will come to a standstill to watch that game.
That will be the highest ranked
college football game of all time
ever. If that happens, those are two mega huge programs.
Yep.
Mega huge programs. And the sheer alumni from those two universities.
Oh, that's got to be close to 1 million people.
Oh,
just from the two.
Absolutely. There's no question about it. Like, just unbelievable. And the SEC would lose their mind.
Yeah, well.
Because last year,
it's happened before.
They had 2 SEC teams in it. This year, they would have 2 Big Ten teams in it.
Right.
Holy Jesus. Oh, my God. And then, yeah, Chanel's right. Grudge match of the century.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I can take another loss to Michigan like that.
We talked about that.
I don't know if I can do that. I don't know.
The game.
I don't know what I would do.
That if it comes to that will be one of the hardest games I have ever had to watch in my entire life.
Hardest game? Are you talking about if it happens? If it happens where we beat Georgia, they beat TCU, and then we lose to Michigan?
I will be an absolute mess the entire day.
Really?
Yeah.
I will be down bad. I'll be down bad.
I'm not even talking about the outcome of the game. I'm just talking before the game, waiting for it to start. I will be a mess.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay, I probably won't be that. I'll be really hyped up.
That will get my nerves going.
I'll be nervous as shit. Like I'll be I just cannot take another loss to them. Like I will be upside down. Like I will delete Twitter from my phone.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Ryan Day gets fired.
Jason,
he's got a $56 million buyout.
Well, and you can't fire a guy for getting to the national championship.
You can. 100% can. Everybody's replaceable.
Agreed.
100%. There's no question about it. He could absolutely be fired.
But he won't.
He won't because the money talks.
And not by our athletic department, no.
No. But if he, I can't take, like, you know what? Let's not put that out there.
Right.
Whatever happens will involve the fetal position. Yeah.
Hey, that's how Scott and I watch games to begin with. So,
not wrong. Stats, where can they find you?
At least until after the Ohio State football season is over. Helix Silent on the tweet machine. Country Smith on the Instagrams.
At Scott Peachy on Twitter. At the Scott Peachy on the Instagrams. Instagram's got the cool AIM update in the DMs. So.
We've been having some fun with that since they rolled that out.
So, all right, y'all. Be good. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Ongoing.
All the things.
Solstice today. The shortest day of the year. Longest night of the year.
Jesus Christ. Boy, do I know that.
Yeah.
My God, there was no sun today.
Yeah.
None. Zero.
Well, I
like
mean,
working
you do work in the basement. So,
all right, y'all. Be good. Be good at it. Happy holidays. We will see you in 2023, which is crazy to think about. All right, good. Bye.
bye.